Hey there everybody, I'm back and I'm going to be showing you guys the newest part in my tutorial series I'm doing. Pretty much we're done with the NU tier, we got top 100 in that. It's time for us to go conquer the RU tier next, the rarely used tier. So what I'm going to do in this part of the tutorial is I'm going to go to Smogon, which is right here. We're going to click on the forums, we're going to go to the metagames, and we're going to go into the rarely used section. And once we get there, we're going to click on the stats for May 2013, and we're going to pop open the stats. So, just like the last NU tutorial, we're going to look at the top 10 maybe a little bit more and see why they're on top and give a little bit of an explanation for why everything's up there, and then we can either pick a team that is standard or pick a team that counters standard, or a little bit of a mix of both. Let's turn the music just a little bit down and change to a song I like. Alright, so right off the bat we see Slow King, top of the tier, 20% usage. This thing gets access to Regenerator, and it has great defensive typing, as well as like Stab Scald and Stabbed Psychics. So this thing's just a menace to deal with. It pretty much stops any sweeper from going nuts. That's why Slow King's really good. Drodagon, I don't see it that much. I think it's access to rocks, and it's one of the few dragon types in the tier, and it's really strong, and gets rough skin, so like it's a good weed. It's really, really good weed. That's why it's so high. Skeptile got its Dream World ability recently unburdened, so it can just have like a grass gem or flying gem, and its speed goes nuts, and it can just sweep everything. It's a very good late game sweeper. Spirit Tomb's just like the Mischievous of this tier. Pretty much a ghost wall that makes it so your spinner can't use rapid spin, or your opponent's spinner, I mean. That's like all it's really good for, in my opinion. It doesn't have any weaknesses either, so it's kind of hard to kill. Entei is pretty much in a lot of teams. And you see different types of Enteis. You see extreme speed Enteis, you see like physical Enteis and special Enteis. I'm going to be using a special Entei probably, because he's in a lot of teams, so you gotta watch out for Enteis. Uxie is a really good weed, and it can set up dual screens, and I think it gets access to rocks too. So that's why Uxie is really good. Alright, just making sure everything's working. Be good. Alright, just making sure everything's working. So Chinchino next. It's a suicide weed. It's like Ambi Palm or Persian. You put a Poke Sash on it, or a King's Rock or something, and you just hacks people down. It gets access to skill link, so like all its moves it hits 5 times, like Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Tail Slap, or whatever. They all hit 5 times automatically. I usually throw U-turn on mine for the last move, and people usually expect it to be a weed, so that's another reason why I like it too, because people expect it to be the weed to try and counter it right off the bat. Kabutops gets very different typing, so we can stab awkward moves like rock and water. You may think that's not that good typing, but down here in the RU tier it's actually pretty good, because fire types are such a big deal. Especially with like a Sunny Day and a lot of stuff. That's just a whole nother deal. Kabutops also gets access to like Stealth Rock and Aqua Jet. He's one of the few things in the tier with it, so that's why Kabutops is so high, probably just because he's a rocks user. Siglif, I don't really know why this is so high. I don't see them ever, but it uses Cosmic Power, and you can't really kill it with Toxic, and it eventually just grinds your whole team down. That's what it's here for. Amoonguss gets Regenerator like Slow King, so they're really good in the team together. They also cover each other's defenses very well. And Amoonguss gets access to Spore, so that's why it's so high. And that's the top 10. Another honorable mention, I think, are Gallade, that's really good. Sand Slash is really good. Aerodactyl used to be OU back in Gen 4, and Lanterns are a huge threat whenever I see them. So those are some of the big powerhouses of the tier. Well, before we look at the rest of this, let's look down at the weed stats. You see Uxie, Aerodactyl, Drodagon, Smurgle. Smurgle's in this tier. Snover, because now you can use Hail in RU. And you see like the standard Steelix, you see Chinchino, Rotoms, Sand Slashes, a bunch of rocks users. It doesn't really change that much from RU. I'm surprised Slow King's that high. He's not really that high, he's just in like 1% of the teams, but pretty much you gotta watch for the Uxies, the Aerodactyls, and the Smurgles and stuff like that. So, you see it's weatherless, is 91% of the teams are weatherless, which means it's a little bit more weather-based than NU, but not that bad. There's a lot of offensive teams in this tier. Just gotta make my team to deal with it. Siglif is used a lot more this month than last month. Let me see if there's anything I really need to know. Slow King's used less. That's surprising. So is Uxie. Huh. I'm gonna use Slow King, so let's look at the 1850 stats. Slow King, 24% usage. Entei went up a spot, Kabutops went up a spot, Quillfish somehow made it into the top 8, but that's probably because you see Hail, like Kabutops, and there's a couple other, not Hail, Drizzle users, well not Drizzle, Rain Dance users. And Rotom made its way up there. People like that, it's typing better than Sceptile's probably, and Sceptile dropped a lot. So that's just a little thing to know versus the 1850 stats. Let's look at the 1850 versus standard stats. Entei's used a lot more, Rotom Mower is used a lot more. So that's pretty much a good, it sums up the tier for the most part. Other than that, you gotta know what's the speed of everything is, because this tier has a lot. This tier probably has the fastest Pokemon in it other than OU, because down in NU, everything was just slow. You didn't need to make your Pokemon speed natured. In this tier, there's Archeops, Aerodactyl, Chinchino, everything is a lot more speed based. So your sweepers, if anything has a sweeper for anything, like even the things you put a Choice Scarf on, you have speed nature on them. That's just how this tier works. So I think it's time we start making the team. Let's go into the team builder. And let's go into new team. We're gonna call it the RU team and be in the RU tier, I think. There we go. Add Pokemon. We're gonna be leading with, well, we're gonna say that we're leading with Sandslash because I really like Sandslash. He's something you guys have probably seen me use in the past. We're gonna put lefties on him, and his Dream ability is not legal here, so we gotta use Sandrush. My moveset is Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, and I don't really like any of these moves. I'm gonna go with Knockoff. Because you still see sometimes you see the Evilite Pokemon, and you gotta have one knockoff in the team if you're playing in these low tiers. We're gonna go 252 and 252, put the last 4 in speed, and make him, I think it's gonna be Careful. Impish, sorry, my bad, I'm so stupid, that's full special D, duh. So, this is gonna be Sandslash. Nothing too special about it. I think this is standard. A lot of people like Super Fang, but I don't. The next Pokemon we're going to be using is Manectric. Manectric is going to usually be our lead. We're going to give it a Choice Scarf. Now, if this were a different tier, we could get away with using the Choice Specs. But like I said, you need to be able to outspeed those Aerodactyls. And we're going to give it Lightning Rod. He's going to be able to cover Slowking very well even after Sandslash dies. We're going to give him Flamethrower, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and Switcheroo to not paralyze, but trap those walls. 4 in HP, 252 in special attack, 252 in speed. Now since our main goal is to outspeed Aerodactyl, which means we don't need to outspeed anything else, which means that he can be modest. Just the little min-maxing stuff you gotta know. The next thing we're gonna use is gonna be Minchino, or whatever it's called. I don't even know what the... Now it's the evolve for Chinchino. Alright, where is this thing? Oh my goodness, where is this thing? I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, whatever, it's right there, I found it. So we're going to give it a Focus Sash. Some people like to use the King's Rock, but I like using the Focus Sash and Skill Link. We're going to go Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Tail Slap, and since he can't get Actos to taunt, we're going to use the U-Turn. We're going to go 4 in HP, 252 attack, 252 speed, and this is one we need to speed nature. Definitely. So he gets 361. Next Pokemon on our team is going to be Gallade. And little known fact, guys, Gallade's the best Pokemon in this tier by far. Put lefties on him, and you guys are probably going to see me win all my games because of this Gallade. So we're going to go Substitute. Not Sun, Substitute. Bulk Up, Drain Punch, and Shadow Sneak. We're going to go 252 HP and 252 special defense. This guy has crazy high special defense. And then we're going to make him Careful. This guy, if anything like a Slowking comes out, or a Lantern, or a Moongus, I get as many bulk ups as I want. That's pretty much how he works. So he's pretty good. You guys, I'll show you guys in game. It's going to be really strong. After that, we're going to go into... we're going to go Entei. Now, I'm still testing this Entei. You know, this team isn't perfect or anything. We're going to give him lefties. He's going to be the same type of build as our Gallade. He's going to be Sub, Calm Mind, Lava Plume, and HP grass, just to get those lanterns, because you never trust those lanterns. Not 522, lol. Now, there's different ways I can put these EVs in. I could go like this, but I'm gonna try doing it like this. It's very greedy, but I'm gonna try and get away with it. So that he's pretty much instead of Glade being a physical Calm Mind setuper, Entei is a special Calm Mind setuper. But Entei also doesn't get actually, let's see if he gets. Does he get like Morning Sun or anything? No. Yeah, so we're just gonna use Hidden Power Grass. So I was like, he doesn't have a recovery move, but you know, we'll be fine without it. Last Pokemon, best Pokemon in the tier is Slowking. We're gonna give him leftovers. Some people think I was thinking about trying Life Orb, or not Life Orb, sorry, Lumberry. I always get those two mixed up. I'm gonna give him Regenerator, and my moveset is Psychic, Scald, 2 stabbed moves, and then what was the last one? There's Slack Off and Toxic in case you find other things. You need a Toxic. So with this guy, we're gonna go full Special Wall because we already have Sand Slash and as our main physical wall. You know, we don't need that second one, and he can wall stuff pretty well. Last 4, let's put in defense. Don't need to be too fast on Slowking. Alright, so this is our team. It's by no means perfect, but it's going to be edited all throughout the laddering process. If I see something that needs to be fixed, I'll fix it, because I really think Entei can be switched out for Typhlosion if I want to become more aggressive. Our team is, I don't know, this is a lot harder tier to ladder in than the NU tier, because it's not more luck based, it's more my team just can't beat that team type of stuff. Yeah, actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to go back into editing, because I think this guy needs to be, I want it shiny because I want to make it look like it's an Entei with extreme speed. If Entei can only have extreme speed if he's shiny, so that's why I'm going to make it look like it's a physical sweeper. So I think that's going to be it for this part of the tutorial for how to ladder on Pokemon Showdown. I hope you guys stick around for the next parts coming up. I'm just going to pause the stream for a sec, and I'll be back in a couple minutes with the laddering process.